So a few of the first things to keep in mind are when you're going on a trip, don't take just one credit or debit card. Take at least two. I took two debit cards. I'd set up one with my Square account specifically for the trip. Ends up doesn't work anywhere in Africa at all. No country whatsoever. It did work in England when we stopped there on our flight back, but it didn't work anywhere else. So it was a good thing I took my bank debit card and I let them know, I let both of them know I would be traveling, where I was traveling. But I did make one little mistake with the bank debit card. I went to the bank, I said, I'm going to be going to Africa, here's the countries I'm going to be in. So they set it up for that, but I didn't think about stopping in London on our way back. And so the card didn't work when I went to get some sushi at the airport. So I ended up, it was good that my Square card did work there. But it's very few countries that you can use the Square card in. Across America, it's fine. So if you're doing a, intercontinental trip, then no worries if you use Square or PayPal, if you have a debit card for that. I like using the Square card because I can set up a location, which I did, called Norv. Specifically for traveling, I can transfer money into that account and use that card just however I need to. I don't have to put everything in it. That way, if the card gets hacked or lost, I can transfer the money out, or if somebody does get it, well, they can only get what I put in there. They can't get any more than that. So that's kind of a good thing to know. I do suggest using Square. If you're, traveling in the US, it's great. But you may just want to use your credit card or maybe even your bank debit card. But I do suggest taking two cards, because if you lose one or one is stolen, maybe an ATM eats it. You never know. Have two different cards to use. It'll make it a lot easier for you, especially if you run into some issue with your main card. So keeping that in mind, two cards, always a plus. Another thing to keep in mind is cash. So if you're traveling, across the U.S., it's not a big deal. In Africa, most countries accept the U.S. dollar, but like Tanzania, they kind of prefer you use the shilling, their shilling, Tanzania shilling. Also in Egypt, it was great to have Egyptian pounds to do tips, because you're going to tip a lot. No matter where you go in Africa, there's going to be a lot of tipping. And you don't want to over-tip. We may have over-tipped a little bit, but we had guides that were just outstanding. Some went beyond the duty of taking us on the trip for the day or multi-days. But you'll want to have currency in those areas. In Botswana, we had some of their currency, and Zimbabwe, Zambia. So always keep a little bit. Most ATMs in some of the countries will give you U.S. dollars, but there are some countries that do not, like Tanzania. Couldn't find one that gave U.S. dollars. We could only get the shilling. Same thing in Egypt. Could only get Egyptian pounds. There are places called De Change. You can go to the ATM, get the local currency, then go in there and they'll swap it for you to U.S. dollars if that's what you prefer. And always know the exchange rate. While we were there, the exchange rate in Egypt changed. It was like $47 and some change Egyptian pounds, 47 Egyptian pounds to $1 US. While we were there, it changed to just over 50 pounds per US dollar. So we were actually getting more for a dollar bill. So those are a couple of things to keep in mind while you're planning your trip. You want to have some cash. I think I went with like $250, $300 American that I was able to exchange for local currency or just use. You do want to take Ones and fives. Definitely have enough ones and fives. Tens are great. Sometimes you have to buy tickets, and that's another thing. Most places like the museums, the pyramids, you get your tickets, you have to pay with a card. They don't accept cash of any sort. No kind of, not Egyptian pounds, not US dollars. So these are a few things to keep in mind before you even get started when you're planning, well, how much money should I take? So just bear in mind, you are going to spend quite a bit, hundreds of dollars on tips, depending on how long you stay.